successful. I want him to go to Pop's team, the Colts. If not, I want the 49ers to get him. And I'm going to shut up now.
Okay, that was a lot what you said, and what you think, Coach?
Well, I think JB brought up an excellent point. Uh, I think it is to a certain degree, it's collusion on the behalf of the owners. I think the issue is the fact that, from Lamar Jackson's standpoint, he saw that Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed contract for $225 million. Deshaun Watson hasn't won a league MVP. Deshaun Watson, he practically has been off for like a year and a half, 2 years prior to this season. And for him to get a contract of that magnitude, I know Lamar Jackson saw that and said, well, guess what? No slight to Deshaun Watson, but I have greater market value than he does. And as a result, if he got a fully guaranteed contract and they knew that he had all these off the field issues and everything, I'm a better player. I want an MVP. And plus, I haven't had any of the off the field issues that Deshaun Watson had. As a result, I feel like I should get an even bigger contract. And, one point that JB left out, they traded Hollywood Brown in the offseason, leading up. So he didn't even have Hollywood Brown this season. So basically, Lamar Jackson is the Baltimore Ravens offense. Without him, there is no offense. And the fact that, you don't have an excellent offensive line, you don't have a good offensive line, you don't have weapons for him to throw the ball to. I mean, basically, you setting him up for failure. And the fact that you willing to let him walk, considering he's by far the best offensive weapon you had, is ridiculous. And like I said, the reason why I say it's collusion, when you have a franchise caliber quarterback, a quarterback his magnitude on the open market, if you look at like the Carolina Panthers, they moved up that number one pick of the draft. Instead of you moving up to get the number one pick of the draft, I would have gave up those 2 first-round picks, and I would have got Lamar Jackson. 2 first-round picks for a player of his stature, man, hey, I would have been all over that particular deal. And the crazy thing about it is, you're looking at some of the contracts like Derek Carr, who came to my sense, Jimmy Garoppolo, going to the Raiders. If you look at some of these contracts these guys getting, like my cousin was saying last week on the show, it's like, man, the money is, in terms of what, like, just decent starting quarterbacks are getting paid, that amount of money has gone up. So when you have a player of his magnitude that's still just sitting on the open market that teams are really not showing any interest in, it's ridiculous. So that's what made me think it's collusion amongst the owners, because the fact that, a lot of these owners, they're upset with the Cleveland Browns for giving Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract. They don't want this to become a trend, because, if you give Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract, then you give Lamar Jackson a fully guaranteed contract, pretty much every upcoming franchise caliber quarterback is going to want that, and they don't want that to become a trend, because you have to realize, I know there's going to be an issue in the next collective bargaining agreement. NBA players, Major League Baseball players, their contracts are fully guaranteed. Whereas you have a more vicious, more violent sport, like my coach used to say, it's not just a contact sport, it's a collision sport. So players get hurt a lot more frequently in the NFL, and as a result, these owners, they don't want to pay these players fully guaranteed contracts. So I think that's something that's being colluded amongst the owners, and they won't keep that from being a trend. And lastly, the last thing I'm gonna bring up is the
What
fact
up, brother Brent?
What's that?
what was going on, Brent Fox.
What's up, man? I'm gonna let
Not
you
a whole
cook,
lot,
man. Go ahead.
but like I was saying, basically, I think the owners are colluding, but usually when you have a franchise caliber quarterback of this magnitude, there's no way he just sits on an open market. The fact that, basically they offered him a 6-year deal for $290 million, and only 3 years and $133 million was guaranteed. Man, a player of his magnitude, there's no way he shouldn't have got maybe a $250 million contract fully guaranteed. I'm sure in terms of security, he would rather have a $250 million contract that's fully guaranteed, or maybe $265 that's fully guaranteed, as opposed to $290 but only like essentially half of it, 3 years, 133 million guaranteed, man. And he and basically, you know, the NFL Players Association, they advised him like, you know, if I were you, I wouldn't take that contract. So he had already made up in his mind that he didn't want it, and as a result, you know, he turned it down. And of course, you know, they're making it seem like you say, like he's a selfish player, and like, you know, basically he should just take the money. But you know, essentially they're playing hardball at this point, and they're trying to lowball him into taking like essentially a bad deal.
Yes, I agree. And shout out to D Weezy. Me and his brothers in Sip to Tally Discord. Like my brother said, please subscribe to Sip to Tally. He's one of the hottest YouTube channels, especially talking about Baltimore Raven content. D. Weezy said, agreed. Lamar was a good or better than a player that can be drafted at number 1. I agree.
And bro, you know, I took me and our homeboy that was a Raven fan on Facebook. We talked about it, bro. Chuck, and I told him, I said, think about it. He brought the offensive coordinator from Georgia. Don't be surprised if they draft Stetson Bennett, that boy from Georgia. It just smell like it.
Please don't say that.
I know how they think, bro.
I hope you're wrong as hell.
I just know. I hope I'm wrong too, but they think that, and I think and Sip the Tally, and then the boys from the round table talk about. They think that they built Lamar, because you remember Harbaugh was about to be fired because Joe Flacco was playing terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here come this boy from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? We won about what, the rest of our games?
You mean Florida?
With no, he's from what did I say, Louisiana?
Yeah.
I meant to say Louisville.
Yeah.
He's the boy from Louisville that didn't want to do the draft. He didn't want to run the 40. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to make him go to receiver. And I think a lot of it is about people just old people just don't want to be wrong. These so-called experts that know football, he has proved them wrong. And they just don't, they just can't let it go. And he's been proving them wrong ever since. So that's why every time you mention the contract, just like me and Coach said, they put that injury prone on him. And me and you know, both know that's kind of BS, because what he had to work with.
And not only that, he's been hurt outside the pocket. I mean, inside the pocket, not while running. Because remember the narrative was he's a running quarterback, so he will get hurt.
And
but most times he's been hurt is being inside the pocket because of bad blocking. Go ahead.
And the offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. And you remember he had said he had a vault. Well, that might has well been a safe. Tells him he had a vote that he was going, you know, open up the playbook at the beginning of the year and stuff like that. And he had Lamar reading high to low, and most quarterbacks read low to high. They throw to the check down, and then they look high for the big plays, the middle to deep field plays. But they want, like Patrick Mahomes and the other quarterbacks like Tom Brady, they read high. Well, Brady, and I'll say Brady, when he had Moss, he read high to low. Mahomes read high to low. When Brady had like Wes Welker and Edelman and them boys, he read low to high. But they was trying. What killed me about Greg Roman, well, I'm glad why we fired him. They had Lamar reading high to low with no weapons. So he's in there looking for somebody to get open, standing in the pocket, getting smacked. Then the next play, we're going to run them. And of course, Lamar's so gifted, he going to get you 10 yards back. You see what I'm saying? So that's him all year. So with that type of play calling, of course you're gonna get hurt. And then the play he got hurt, Greg Roman had Josh Oliver, our third down tight end, trying to block a outside linebacker, pass rushing outside linebacker, and he got smacked and got hurt.
Okay. Let me do the shout out. Shout out to Mr. Shelton in the chat. He said, saying what's up. Thanks for coming by, Mr. Shelton. D Weezy said Baltimore was dedicated to running Lamar. Extra hits pile up even if it doesn't cause injury. Brady had to switch it up when he went to Tampa. Arian wanted the switch to high to low. Yep.
See? But see, they had those facts, D Weezy. But see, the Tampa Bay, when they first got there, Tampa Bay could do that. Because Tampa Bay had the weapons to play the high and low.
Yeah, with Mike
Yeah.
and Chris Godwin. Yeah, I mean, you have weapons to read from high to low, you know.
And everybody know, and I'm going to be quiet.
I mean, that's all Mike Evans.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I say that's what I was saying. Basically, Mike Evans, he a deep threat. Godwin, he has speed to stretch the field. So basically, it was more feasible to read from high to low. But once they got Scotty Miller and they added Gronk, they were able to fill most of the way from low to high in terms of high to low with the Bucks. And I think that was part of the reason why they was happy they got rid of Winston, because all those interceptions he threw in Tampa Bay, I don't think they were all his fault, but essentially he has deep weapons, so that's the reason why they wanted to make that transition.
Yeah, and Lamar just doesn't have the weapons, so them to act like he doesn't deserve it, because he's the most winning quarterback at his age, and he's only 26, and he had no weapons really. But we're gonna get a special perspective from the enemy. Brent Fox, being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. What you think going on Lamar contract, and then let's hear about what moves the Steelers are making.
Wow, that is such a great introduction, brother. I really don't appreciate that. No, I'm playing. Look, from an enemy perspective, and this is kind of bouncing off what I mentioned to you privately. I'm kind of conflicted, man. Part of me really don't want this deal to go through. I would love to see Lamar go somewhere else and they draft Stetson Bennett and then implode and look real bad and we sweep them. But the other part of me, which is more important, is for this man to actually get what he so rightfully deserves. Like, what more can you ask this man to do? He's literally carried this team on his back to a playoff spot and playoff victories with an S. And at one point, he was the MVP of the whole league. Like, what else do you want? Not trying to sound like Tyrese, but what else do you want?
Right.
Yeah, to me, that's crazy, man. You know, and unfortunately, we had a situation, when we had Ben Roethlisberger, and you know what baggage came with him, but we didn't hesitate to pay him, and nobody batted an eye about anything. Meanwhile, Lamar, to my knowledge, hasn't had any of those type of issues, and has actually proven himself to not only be a great player, but to also be a great leader when he's out there. So for them to do this, man, it's flat out insulting, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is, and And even though you're still a fan, I got love for you, brother Brent. But I just want to hear your perspective as from eyes from a Steeler fan and AFC rival. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I know half of you want Lamar to go, and then you as a black man or just a human being in general, right? Knowing from right is right and wrong is wrong. What's happening to Lamar Jackson is not cool. It's very, like you said, it's very insulting actually.
It really is, man. And to be quite honest with you, if they shoot themselves in the foot and don't get this deal done the way that it's supposed to, and I got to emphasize the way that it's supposed to, then you basically have to rebuild. Stetson Bennett ain't gonna save you. Not at this point. And if the Ravens have to learn that the hard way, I'd love it. I'd love it. Actually, I would love it. So yeah, don't sign Lamar. He ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, bro.
No,
But
I'm actually
yeah,
happy that you're saying that, bro.
yeah. Hopefully they do the right thing. No Spike Lee, and just try to get this man a deal to where both parties are happy. I mean, that's
Right.
that's the art of a great deal. Both sides have to actually be happy, and they can easily get this worked out. I don't know what the reason is that they don't want to, but they gonna have to probably within the next few weeks.
I mean, just as coach and I don't know if you listened to earlier the show. Coach was saying about the guaranteed contract,
Hmm.
but I was throwing a little salt in it, saying that, or flavor into it, saying that, hey, it can be also, or could be also, the fact that he doesn't have an agent, and if he signs without an agent and a guaranteed contract, other players in the future that's still in high school, that's still in college, are going to start doing that. And I think it's just not. I was thinking about when Coach was talking. It might not just be the owners colluding against Lamar Jackson, but the agents colluding against Lamar Jackson.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to actually listen to the show before I jumped on, and I apologize.
No,
But
you fine.
yeah,
You got
that's a
live.
very very valid point.
Man, I wouldn't put it past nobody. But D Weezy is asking us in the question, fellas. A question in the chat, fellas. He said, "Y'all think Lamar sits versus signing the tag if no team gets an offer done?" Great question.
myself personally, I think he would. He already said that he's willing to go the Kirk Cousins route in terms of getting what he wants. And in addition to that, to kind of piggyback off of what JB was saying, he wasn't privy to this conversation that you and I had behind the scenes, Jared. Basically, I sent you this clip like several months back where Jalen Rose addressed that issue in terms of him not having a traditional agent, a traditional white agent, and the fact that basically his mom is acting as his agent. That is one factor that's really kind of playing into this entire situation. So the fact that he doesn't have an agent, and the fact that essentially his mom is acting as his agent, so there's no buffer between himself and the team. But most importantly, the fully guaranteed contract thing, they really,
Right.
I think, to a certain degree, those owners are colluding because, from a Lamar Jackson standpoint, he's looking at it the fact that, hey, if Deshaun Watson got a fully guaranteed contract, I'm a better player than him, and I didn't have the off the field issues that he's had, so I deserve a
Hmm.
fully guaranteed contract also, And not only that, but if he got 225 million, I'm at least worth at least 250 million, considering I won a league MVP and he hasn't, and more importantly, I haven't had all the off the field issues he's had.
Yeah, and if that don't get him, he won more games. You know, If they looking
Yeah,
at the bottom line, he won more games.
yeah.
He won
I,
more with less.
he sure did, and I mean, like, I just don't get it. Like, and I understand you got to make room, cap situation, everything, but I mean, my position is simple. This franchise never had anybody like Lamar Jackson, so don't play. So trade who you need to trade to make room for that man. Of course, get contracts reconstructed like we did with Michael Pierce and a few others, and let's pay the man, or let's do something that um pay him where, if we don't reach what he's wanting, at least let's make an effort so he can be cool with it. But I don't know, man. This is scary because the Colts, if you're not paying attention to the free agency news that's going on, the Colts are trying to make a run for Lamar Jackson. They didn't sign Matt Ryan. They signed Gardner Minshew, but y'all know he's a glorified backup. So they still don't have a quarterback because the owner of the Colts already just said that Baltimore Ravens aren't that stupid. If he's available, then we're gonna try to take him. He's already said that out his mouth.
Yeah, and as much of a cokehead as he is, Irsay is actually a little bit more open-minded than the other owners.
Yeah, he really is.
So yeah, I could actually see him taking Lamar's deal on with a non-traditional agent and all of that, and just because he actually just wants to win games and he wants to get somebody in there that'll give him the best chance to win.
I tell you who else said that, Jared, during the after game press conference after they played us. I pray to God he don't go there.
Who?
The Boston the Patriots. New England Patriots.
Oh no. I can't even imagine him in that uniform, but D Weezy, exactly. He said they didn't win without Lamar and should be enough for an eye opener. Yeah. But you're dealing with billionaires and millionaires, so they think they know better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can't tell a billionaire anything.
No.
They think they can recreate anything until they gotta recreate it. So
very good point. Very good point.
But I tell you one team, if he go to the 49ers, it's been one for everybody.
Oh, with Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle,
Debo Samuel.
Oh my Lord!
And that defense.
Oh my Lord!
You gotta respect. Already gotta respect the pass, and then you got Lamar juking and going side to side and stuff.
Yeah, he would be an upgraded, better version of Steve Young.
And then you gotta worry about Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the crazy thing about it, fellas, is the fact that so many teams should be chomping at the bit to get at this guy, because they were just breaking down just the teams in the NFC South. I mean, now that Tom Brady is retired,
And see, that's what me and you were saying earlier.
Baker Mayfield, which is that the Atlanta Falcons had with Michael Vick. Imagine if Lamar Jackson went to the Atlanta Falcons. Oh my goodness, it'll be like the way it was Vic Mania in Atlanta. I mean, I'm sure the city of Atlanta would embrace Lamar Jackson the same way.
Oh, Lamar gonna be a money maker. He's gonna be a money maker in Atlanta.
Oh man,
I don't know about the football team. They got to build around them, but it'll be a money maker. Go ahead, coach.
instead of
You going in and out, brother.
and then hitting the four. Can you hear me now, fellas?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, sir.
But instead of them moving up, taking the first pick of the draft, I would have just gave up 2 first-round picks just to get them.
I agree.
So just teams like the Washington Commanders and the Miami Dolphins with the uncertainty of this situation with Tua, and I mean all of these situations, all these teams should be chomping at the bit to get them.
Well, it's like what D Weezy just put in the chat. He said Irsay would drop $300 million guaranteed just to piss off the other owners. Yes, he will.
Because they're fan and I believe Irsay will be the man with the cojones, as we like to say, to make the move. Because with the rest of these teams, like Coach said, especially Washington, and I love the brother. I watched him play at North Carolina State. You're not gonna sit there and say that you're comfortable with Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback. Or Gardner Minshew.
Backup at this point.
Yeah, he'll win you about 5 games. You got 5-6 games in him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's needed, especially if your quarterback go down. Those guys are needed. You know what I'm saying? I just like how he beat up on my Tar Heels, but I know he's a good football player. It's just he's not a what was it? 17 to 18 game starting quarterback starter in the NFL.
And he's definitely not a franchise quarterback.
Right. So, I mean, that's how what me and you was talking about, Coach, is collusion. There ain't no way. Or they know something we don't know. They know Baltimore is BSing. Because our franchise like to play little mind games too. Now, we're leaving that out.
Yeah. You don't like to tell everybody what's going on, especially when it comes to our injuries. But D. Wizzy said if San Francisco signs him, it's San Francisco versus Kansas City in the Super Bowl for the next 5 years.
Facts. Because when they play, go ahead, Jared.
I agree, but I want to eventually change the topic from. We can talk about the Lamar situation all day, but go ahead, JB.
No, you good. We cooked on it enough. It's burnt.
Yeah. But what do you guys think about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets? I don't know if he. I don't know if he. Hey, that's why we have it. Is go ahead and speak your mind. I think his best years are behind him. So I don't know. Maybe they could get at least 7 wins out of him.
But the thing with that
now is that official? Oh, sorry.
No, the thing that get me with that situation is not only him going there, but him like, hey, before I come here, I want these particular players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, don't quarterbacks like him do that already?
Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
That's true. They're a little bit more discreet about it.
Hey, Ben Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
He's more passive aggressive about that. I've been dealing with that for decades, brother.
Right.
He's more passive aggressive. Like he'll say something like, I think we're okay at receiver, but every area needs improvement. We need a little help. But that's for the coaches to decide. He'll do some shit like that. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Right.
I gotta watch my language. he'll do some stuff like that.
Yeah,
Ben Wood. But yeah, I mean Rogers is quote unquote free spirit at this point. So yeah, he just made his little ransom list, which I found really funny. Um, and was like, "Hey, I need this,
he said
or this
ransom.
in order for me to play."
Well, yeah, he a free spirit, all right. Because him going to the Jets, he need to be free all he want. Cause it's been one. To me, the Jets. There's a couple of franchises that you go to to end your career. Um, the Browns is one.
Mm.
The Jets is one. I'm missing one. A team.
The Raiders,
Panthers now and the Raiders.
The
yeah, the
Raiders.
Panthers now, right?
The Raiders and the Panthers. I
I think the
mean,
Panthers
and
are
I
going to
might
be
be wrong because the Jets defense was good. The only thing they was missing was a quarterback. It just to me, some franchise are snake bitten. For example, if you look how the Browns built their um team, I'm like, yeah, this is a good team on paper. They get out there on their field, they trash. You see what I'm
The
saying?
reason for that is because they are having, and you're right, they are snake bitten, but the thing is they're not embracing their real identity. Their real
Mm,
identity is
mm,
actually running the ball with Nick Chubb and the boy from Kansas City,
not right.
Kareem Hunt.
Not having
That is
not
their
having
real
Baker
identity.
Mayfield,
But when they
not having Baker
re-signed,
Mayfield drop
when they
back 30
signed
Hey,
Deshaun
times.
Josh, let him
Watson,
finish. Let him finish.
it was
Go ahead.
when they signed Deshaun Watson. Now all of a sudden it was a situation to where they needed to be able to get the ball down the field vertically and all of this. But Cleveland's real identity, and they know this, they're professionals. They're supposed to be able to do this all day.
Right.
They know that their real identity is running that ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's it. You should not, and I understand that you paid Deshaun Watson all these millions of dollars, hundreds of millions rather of dollars, but
Right.
your real identity is running the football.
That's
And
it.
if you get back to doing that, you have a better chance of winning. That's all I got.
You're right, but look around, brother Brent. Are we in 2005, 2006, 2003 where you can just run your way to victory? You're gonna need some wide receivers. You're gonna need the quarterback. It's a throwing league now, so yeah, you can run the ball, but eventually, it's basically what Baltimore Ravens are dealing with right now. We can run the ball till Jesus comes, but we need some wide receivers. You know what I mean? And that's why I admire your coach,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin, because he finds a way. He can have. I think your squad was. I ain't gonna lie. I the first couple of games, I'm like, man, Pittsburgh trash. We gonna smoke them. Wrong. Mike Tomlin figured it out,
Nah,
and was
you and
able
me
to get the
both.
ball to that monster Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to Johnson. So those are two wide receivers. Going back to what JB and Coach said was talking about before you got here. Each winning football team has at least two good, decent to great wide receivers that can catch the ball. And just using Pickens and Johnson as an example. Baltimore doesn't have that. Hey, even Jets have that. My Lord, but like JB said, they don't have a quarterback. So running the ball, going back to my point, running the ball, you can pretty much say the Browns are almost as far as trying to find an identity throwing the ball, except we actually have a quarterback. We just need wide receivers. The Browns just need a quarterback.
I think they got one. I think we'll see what Deshaun Watson do. If Deshaun Watson can't do nothing with Cleveland, Cleveland is
It's
just
kind
that squad just snake bitten.
can't
But
get
what I
right.
was right, but what I was saying about and I agree with you before I was talking over Brent. My apologies, Brent. But what he was saying about teams need to stay with their identity, he's absolutely right. And I'm gonna kind of disagree with you, bro,
It's
Jared.
good. That's why we
They
got this
can't.
show.
They can't. You can win without throwing the ball. And you just need to. Everybody just need to do their part. We seen it with the Rams a couple of years ago. The Rams, they ran the ball, but then they were able to throw the ball when they needed to with not Bradford. What was that quarterback?
Uh, uh,
Oh, you talking about Jerry Goff?
Not Jared Goff. They got rid of Jared Goff.
Matthew
Matthew
Stafford.
Stafford. Yeah.
Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was just okay enough. I'm not gonna put him in the Trent Dilfer Rex
No, yeah,
Grossman
he way
territory,
better. Yeah, he way better.
but he was decent enough to give like they say, give him the keys to the car, don't crash the car. Throw it to who you need to throw it to, right? You just need to be you need to just step up on the plays that you need to throw the ball. And that's what we were saying. That's what we was trying to do in Baltimore. Run the ball and throw. And when we needed to throw it, we need somebody that can get open. And that's what we did here in Baltimore with Flacco. So, but what Cleveland did with Brent Point when they had Nick Chubb and Hunt, they got out of their element because they was trying to make Baker Mayfield be that guy, and he wasn't that guy. Having him drop back 30, 40 times when you got one of the best backs in the backfield.
Two of them actually.
Yeah, Hunt a beast too. So
But yeah, my point was to make sure, and thank you for that, JB. I appreciate you. My point was that you basically, as a team, have to play to your strength in order for you to be successful. On the other side of that, if you're somebody like the Kansas City Chiefs, who's able to throw the ball around a lot, then and you have a Patrick Mahomes that could basically almost make anybody that's playing receiver look good, then you stick with that.
right,
My point about Cleveland was the team itself is not designed to actually be passing a ball 40 times a game.
facts.
Whereas like Kansas City, they are able to like throw the ball around a lot all game.
Facts. I agree. And that's what I thought you meant because I don't know about me. I'm in the AFC North with you, Brent. When they had I'm like, how Baker Mayfield getting commercial? Lamar ain't got no commercials.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
you know how that goes.
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah, that's another show. But
Yeah, definitely another show, bro.
that's another show right there. We ain't nobody stupid. But now they seeing that he's not they thought he was a stud. Now they found out he really not. He was just playing good in that element at times. But once they try to make him out to be like he was Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, then he failed miserably.
Well, Jared, what did I tell you about them quarterbacks in the 2019 draft? Who was the best two in that draft?
Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, right?
Nah, Josh Allen.
Oh, and Lamar and Josh Allen.
Oh, he said the 2019 draft. I think Lamar and them was what?
Yeah,
I mean
Lamar
18, excuse me.
Was it 18? Yeah.
It was 18 and it was 18. I said told everybody because they was heavy on. Was it Josh Rosen? It was Baker Mayfield and somebody else, and they were trash. And I was telling pops and Jared was saying that boy from Wyoming, Josh Allen, he has a Cam Newton type build, 6'5", and he'll run you over because he run damn near like 4'5", 4'6", and then and I could like me and Jared was saying earlier, looking at Lamar closely in the ACC with my Tar Heels, I think he's that dude. I think he's that dude. If you put him around, he gets better. You know what they was trying to do with Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? With Tim Tebow couldn't throw, and they was trying to get him better throwing the ball. Lamar actually did that.
Mm-hmm. They definitely gave Tim Tebow every chance in the world.
They had to move that boy to tight end.
Mm-hmm.
You saw how that. You saw how that ended up.
Hey y'all, I keep thinking, you know that part on Coming to America where Eddie Murphy was with the sexual chocolate band. I just keep thinking about Tim Tebow and somebody saying that boy good.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people were saying.
Nah, he was a beast over there in Florida. Excuse me, Jerry.
Yeah, he one of the best college football players. Don't get it twisted. College football, one of the best. But when it comes to the pros, NFL, I mean, shout out to him for making that little playoff run. But
yeah. No, thank him for making that payoff run, man. We the one got victimized by that.
He beat the Steelers, huh?
Yeah. Him and Demarius Thomas, man.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace to Demarius Thomas.
Man, he cooked y'all. But yeah, man, I would be mad too, man. A dude that came through on y'all behind.
And hey, he threw for 316 yards. How ironic was that?
I'd be sick if I know y'all defensive coordinator probably got fired after this season was over.
Man, we let him walk during halftime. Now I'm playing. But yeah, he wasn't around too much. No, wait a minute. I think that was Dick LeBeau.
Dang,
so
Dick.
He wound up of course he wound up staying, and then he left, and then Keith Butler took over maybe like a year or so after.
And LeBeau good too.
Yeah, he's very good. He's one of the best.
So shout out to Tim Tebow for having that little shine, but that was it.
Yeah, that was it. That was a one-hit wonder. I was glad that actually, that his time was up. I'm glad that his time was up after that. But yeah, man, have y'all checked out a little bit of the draft? Not the draft, but the combine, and these draft experts, quote unquote, wanted to put Anthony Richardson at the top of the board. Yeah,
and actually, shout out to Sip the Tally Films. He did a breakdown. Y'all go subscribe. He break down players, and him and his boy Voch Lombardi, who is a Cowboy fan, but he also break down drip film. So y'all go subscribe and get some info on the players y'all teams might get. But Richards, the boy can throw, but he gonna throw a lot of picks because he's that type of player. No, I'm just telling you, based on what Sip the Tally showed me, he's like coach Jameis Winston. Where Jameis would like, damn, Jameis, that was a good throw. And then he'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's that type. But except he can run a 4.4.
Mm-hmm.
So that might save him.
I mean, he's definitely an athlete,
Yeah. But I'm with you, JB. Some plays, it's like, dang. How he do that? And then another play would be, dang, why he do that?
Right. That's him.
Yeah.
So, and I was telling coach in the stream, I say he's a type where he might I'll say he has the same height that Geno Smith had when he first got in the league. With Geno Smith had a great arm talent, but he might not have been ready to start. As far as because Geno Smith went to a bad passing situation too in the New York Jets when the Jets had Brad Smith and Clowney and stuff as they starting wide receivers, but
Jericho
he
Cotton.
Jericho Cotry, but he need to hold the clipboard for a year and sit up under somebody who actually been in the league,
Like
and he
Patrick
might
Mahomes
be good, like Patrick did with Alex Smith. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever I forgot. Was that Alex Smith?
Yeah, it was Alex Smith.
Dang, Alex Smith was a mentor for everybody. Wasn't Alex Smith a mentor for Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, until Kaepernick took his job. Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah.
Dang. I know Alex Smith was like, not again.
Speaking of New York, D. Weezy said the New York media is going to straight him straight. No lube. He's talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna.
They gonna tear his tail up if he start going up there acting weird.
He's going to completely shut down if things don't go the way that they need to, quote unquote. I got my little air quotations up. But yeah, if they don't go the way they need to, look for him to actually shut down. He ain't gonna be on Pat McAfee no more, nothing. He just gonna be like, oh, well, I took a meditation break during the season.
But
you never know with him, though.
Go ahead, coach.
Y'all did bring up a valid point earlier in terms of, the Jets have a very good defense. The only thing they really was lacking was a quarterback. So maybe if he can kind of give you glimpses of what he used to be, I think their defense might be good enough to carry him, because I remember that game against the Vikings. Oh my goodness. That kid that's essentially a backup, I mean, he played almost well enough for them to win that game. So they have excellent defense, because I remember K1 Alexander, he left the Saints.
Mike White, because I believe Mike White played because that Wilson boy, he was another one that they was trying to make like he was. He is not it. He is not him. Because I'm like, bro, I seen that read, but but going back to AR-15, he's one of those players that he might just have to sit 1 year so the game can slow down for him. But if you drafting him number one for him to start, get ready for the ups and downs where you be like, man, that's a good play, and then you be like, yeah, did we get the right person? So
yeah. What y'all think about Stetson Bennett?
Overrated.
It's a great looking hat. I don't know about him as a quarterback.
Well, he's a small for a quarterback. He's maybe 5'11", maybe 5'10". Josh, JB, what did he run in the 40?
I don't know about 4'6". He can move a little bit. 4'7". I think I gotta look that up, but I mean, I don't. When I watched Georgia, it was really I look at Georgia as a defensive team, and they had a good offensive coordinator over there. They had good running backs. They had a very good tight end over there. So I mean, I don't know. He might be okay.
Even with his size, so it's safe to say you can throw the nitpicking at his size, because we got a Kyler Murray, Russell Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, who's going to be a Hall of Famer. All of them are like basically under 6 foot
Right.
and can ball.
But
Yeah, I think depending on what system he goes to, he could do a decent job. I'm not going to put the ceiling up too high for him just yet, but I think that he could be a decent player. It depending on what system he goes to.
depending on that's why I think that Baltimore might take a look at him. So we got they old offensive coordinator.
Anybody see Will Levis play?
He ain't gonna be that good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. His stock is going up, but I don't see him being that guy.
Because they tried I forgot who. No, I think it was Coach Sip the Tally. They had a feeling him throwing deep, and I'm like, and he was missing the mark bad too. I'm like, bro, that's a project quarterback. Y'all about to draft somebody that won over draft somebody in the first round who is essentially probably a project quarterback or in the mid round quarterback. But I don't trust this year's draft. I don't know why. As far as the quarterbacks,
So how
Yeah,
about how far? Hold that thought, Coach. So as far as quarterbacks, let me get your feedback on C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. But first, go ahead and finish what you were saying, Coach.
no, you pretty much took the words out of my mouth. I mean, really, outside of Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, I think Richardson and Levis and all the other quarterbacks, they pretty much hit or miss. I think, if I was drafting at the top of the draft, I would, me personally, I mean, of course, you might have skill players, defensive or offensive linemen that might be higher on your draft board than Stroud, Young, but the most valuable position, of course, it showed in this year's Super Bowl is the quarterback position. So you're gonna bump Young and Stroud up, and really, after those two quarterbacks, like I said, the rest of those quarterbacks in this particular draft class is hit or miss. So.
Oh yeah, what do y'all think about Herndon from Tennessee?
He need to hold a clipboard. Clipboard.
You talking about Hendon Hooker?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, he kind of reminds me of Anthony Richardson a little bit, like JB was saying. He probably needs to sit and learn for a couple of years and then eventually become a starter down the line. I mean, really and truly, I think both of those guys kind of fit that mold. Me personally, I was hoping with the same situation that they didn't, spend all the money they spent on Derek Carr, that they just would keep James Winston, let Winston be the starter, and draft Hendon Hooker to be the heir apparent. But the route they took was, they gave Derek Carr the big money, and they restructured James Winston's contract, so they pretty much in win now mode.
And about Hendon Hooker, me and you, we know Hendon Hooker real well. As far as he used to be in our division at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a strong arm. He can run, he can scat, but as far as somebody that starts on the NFL level, he might be good, he might be great in a couple of years, but he's going to have to sit and make sure that he learns how to go through all his reads and get rid of the ball. So, but
speaking of quarterbacks, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think he another Jacoby Brissett. In my opinion.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett, or he has that's his might be his mid or ceiling, or his bottom might be that boy from Cardell Jones.
Heck no. I wouldn't insult him like that. Cardell Jones. He just had a strong arm, but he was not accurate whatsoever. What running back y'all like in the draft? I give you my two. The best two running backs. I like that young man from Tulane, Tyjae Spears, and Texas running back Bijan Robinson.
Oh man, you done took my arm.
Oh, he's the best, man. He's the best in the nation.
Yeah. I also like Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama.
Forgot about
I know
him.
that was pretty much a layup one, but it's another boy from the boy from Illinois, Chase Brown. I like him.
Okay.
I also like boy, is it the tip of my daggone tongue? The boy from Texas A&M. Because I have to watch my Aggies every now and again. Alshon.
Oh, he got an African name.
Yeah.
He tore us up.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And then there's another boy. It's a lot of them that's just kind of rushing in my head right now.
I ain't gonna lie. This year running back class might be low key deep. Because that boy from UCLA, Zach Charbonnet, he a bruiser back beast.
Oh yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, it's loaded. The running back room is loaded. And they said that the wide receivers room is loaded this year too.
A lot of people say it's top heavy. You agree with that, JP?
What, the receivers?
Yeah, meaning it's heavy. It look good at the top, but going down, there's really no. If you look into it, it's really the top 10 to 20. That's good.
Here's the thing with receivers, though. Here's the thing with receivers, because we've seen this as well. Receivers, you can say that about every year, but it's up to your recruiting class, because you can look at somebody like the Steelers. They got Antonio Brown in the 6th round.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you got to know what you're looking at, because you can if you got people on your scout team that know what they're looking at a receiver, you can get a receiver in about any round. That's my opinion. If you know what you're looking at, quarterbacks, you can't do that. You can't. You gotta know what you're looking at, and just like Coach 67 said, is either hit or miss with a quarterback.
How about running back?
Running backs the reason why they devalued is they're a dime a dozen, really. To be honest with you, you can find somebody decent enough to get you 3 yards, 4 yards per carry. If you got a decent offensive line, or if you got a average to okay to good offensive line like we had here in Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? We got Gus Edwards off the undrafted free agency from Rutgers. So, I mean, you can get running backs at any round, and it's one of them. You can get same thing with receivers. You get running backs any round if you know what you're looking at as a running. If you were a running back coach or you played running back, offensive line, you can't do that.
Nope.
You can't do that. You gotta. It's hit or miss with them.
Yeah, definitely hit or miss with them, especially the tackle position.
Yes, you got to get somebody to protect their blind side. Defensive line, you know what? I'm going to say defensive line because I'll say the whole defense is hit or miss. You can't just try to get anybody because you got to know what on the defensive side of the ball, you got to go out and get players that or have scouts that know what they're looking at, because in this game now, since everything is geared to make the offensive side look good, and the advantages is on the offense, you gotta find good defensive players. Got to, from the D line to the nose tackle, even though the nose tackles is a is endangered species. To the defensive ends, to the linebackers.
Hey, but me and
Uh,
Coach was talking about it one show. I think they might come back. So we might see the Hote Natas or the Casey Hampton types note tackles back in style.
or for the Saints, the Norman Hand,
Tony Siragusa,
Tony
Grady
Syracuse, rest
Jackson
in
too,
peace.
the lunch
Yeah.
bunch.
Grady Jackson.
Casey Hampton.
Yeah, lunch bunch for Saints.
And we forgot about the Saints. I like the Derek Carr sign for y'all, man. Because the thing about the Saints, y'all need to give whoever is in charge of finding receivers a raise. Y'all always find good receivers. All the way back in like '03, when y'all had what's the black dude that was your quarterback? Um
Brooks.
Aaron.
Aaron
Aaron
Brooks.
Yeah, Aaron
Y'all
Brooks.
always had good receivers.
Yeah, Joe Horn.
Joe Horn.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, y'all just need somebody that can throw it to, and Derek Carr is that he can get it. I mean, he'll throw a pick, but I
I
don't think
think he's too
everything that happened
inconsistent for
in
the kind of money he got. Me myself, I think he's too inconsistent for the kind of money they paid him.
Coach, I'm sorry. You said that y'all think that y'all overpaid him?
Yeah, I think so. For the kind of money they paid him, I think he's too inconsistent.
Oh, okay, I got you. But yeah, okay. So breaking this down defensively, y'all still pretty much have like the nucleus of y'all's defense, right?
No, not really. I mean, the cornerstone of the defense was the defensive line, and they pretty much their defensive players went in all different directions. The core players like the Marcus Davenports, the Shy Tuttles, those guys are gone, in other directions. Because Marcus Davenport, he signed a 1-year deal worth $13 million with the Vikings. Shy Tuttle, he moved on. So they just moving in different directions. So I think the core of their defense is gonna be fine. Like I said, Davenport went to the Vikings, Tuttle went to the Carolina Panthers. Passano gonna stay, but I mean the defense is gonna be a work in progress.
Oh shoot! I so hate to hear that. Jordan is still there. Cam Jordan's still there, right?
Yeah, Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, they restructured their contracts.
Okay, all right. Wait a minute. What about y'all secondary? Marshawn's still there, right?
Say that again.
Marshawn Lattimore still there?
Yeah, Lattimore's still gonna be there. He's still there. Taylor, he a young guy. Paulson Adebo, he's young. But they're gonna need another strong safety since they traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Eagles. Hopefully they can get him back. I doubt it. They restructured the Honey Badgers deal to Ron Matthews. Mays, he was overrated. I think they need, in my opinion, if they can't get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, I think they need another strong safety and free safety, in my opinion. So I don't think the defense is going to be as good as it's been the past couple of years because they gradually lost pieces. So, and plus they gave Derek Carr, big money. So they had to restructure a lot of contracts. So it's going to be interesting to see what the team is going to look like this coming year,
Oh, wait. Okay. Well, I mean, the good news is with you guys being in NFC South, I believe that y'all still have a fighting chance.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, brother, but
yeah.
The thing about it is the fact that now with Derek Carr, even though I think he's overpaid, I mean, he's essentially going to be the best quarterback in the NFC South now because, Andy Dalton left the Saints to go to Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield, he went to the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Carolina Panthers, they're going to draft him a quarterback. The Saints, they went and got David Johnson. They still got Jarvis Landry. They went and got Dwayne Washington at running back. Deontay Hardy, he left and went to the Bills. They still got Marquez Callaway and Jawan Johnson. And plus they got Chris Olave. They got Rashid Shaheed. So I think offensively they're going to be decent. The defensive line was with their strength. So I think Carl Granderson, he probably gonna step in as a starter. They drafted Peyton Turner High the last couple of years, the defensive end. Hopefully, one of those guys could replace Marcus Davenport. Like you said, Cam Jordan's still there. Hopefully, Malcolm Roach could step in because he's from Baton Rouge. Kentavious Street, he was the defensive lineman for the 49ers that hurt Drew Brees. So hopefully he could start. So it's going to be interesting to see, it could kind of go either way because easily this season could have been, instead of them being 7-10, it could have been 10-7, like my cousin was saying last week on the show. And it could be the same thing this coming year. So I think the quarterback play is going to be the big thing,
Yes, sir. Yeah, I definitely believe that. And then with the matchups that you have against Atlanta and Carolina, and heck, I may even say Tampa Bay. Yes, you guys stand a chance of improving your record. So, and my brother's a Saints fan. I look forward to seeing what y'all gonna do.
Oh no, I mean they clearly have the best quarterback in the division at this point now.
Yes, sir. But with us in the AFC North, man, we got that situation pending, like we were talking about earlier with Lamar. It looks like Joe Burrow and them are probably going to be on top of the division if they do what they're supposed to. But you know how that go. A lot of folks, especially with the Bengals, man, sometimes they'll smell themselves a little too much, man, and they'll shoot themselves in the foot. I enjoy watching it though. And then you of course have like the Cleveland Browns, who really don't know who they are. And then there's us, trying to kind of rebuild the brand, so to speak, and get our good name back. But I think that with some of the additions that we actually have, like Eldon Roberts and what is Cole's first name? Anyway, we've got a linebacker from the Washington Commanders, Cole, who's pretty good. Yeah, Cole Holcomb, yeah.
You know how I know? Because he's UNC Tar Heel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cole Holcomb, man. And thank you guys for still cooking. Me and JB was knocked out because our internet was tripping. So I appreciate y'all.
Oh, definitely, brother. That's what we're here for, man. We're gonna pick up. Things go unexpectedly. But yeah, I was just talking about the NFC North, man, and some of the pickups that we actually got to try to stay competitive with y'all.
Okay. We didn't really make the latest which we resigned a long snapper, and we resigned our third string running back, and Justice Hill, and we're trying to go after Odell Beckham, but I think that's gonna fall through.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think that probably would have worked, man. But yeah, as of now, I don't know. Where do y'all think that he's gonna try to re-sign, man?
Don't be surprised if you catch him in Kansas City somewhere. Be honest with you.
Okay,
Kansas City. That may be a reach, but that's a team that he probably would like to look into.
Who?
Anybody else think he's finna sign to another team besides Kansas City?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Who's gonna be signed?
No, we just speculating on where Odell Beckham gonna sign.
Oh, I heard somewhere he thinking about joining up back with the Giants.
Oh yeah, so we got one for Kansas City, one for back to the Giants. Coach, what about you? Just for S's and giggles, where you think that Odell probably gonna sign? Uh-oh, Coach, can you hear me? I think you're on mute.
Yeah, you're on mute, Coach.
Coach, can you hear me?
Let me check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just doing something for a little fun here. Where you think Odell probably gonna wind up signing?
bro, it's so hard to say with his particular situation. He had the situation with, the little airplane situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, so, and the way they're talking, like he's been looking explosive. So it's kind of hard to tell where he's gonna land. Uh, Me personally, anytime you on a team that win the Super Bowl, it's gonna be crazy. You going back the next year, and I know he was hurt, but I thought he would have re-signed with the Rams this season here. But once things started to kind of go sideways, then Matt Stafford got hurt, and it's a Super Bowl hangover thing. So the fact that he didn't go back with them, and they traded Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins, so it's going to be clear that the Rams not going to be the team that won the Super Bowl. So it's kind of going to be interesting to see where he goes. Because a lot of teams making a lot of moves, but cap space for certain teams is going to be something that's just going to kind of be the thing, and it's going to be interesting to see what things happen with certain teams, because like I talked about Jalen Ramsey getting traded to the Dolphins. The fact that Tua is kind of like an injury prone type player. From what I'm hearing, they say Tom Brady is considering coming out of retirement and going to the Dolphins. You never know, somebody like Odell Beckham Jr., if they have enough cap space, even though they got Tyreek Hill, I could see him taking like a cheap deal to go, play on a stacked team and maybe potentially win another Super Bowl, So you never know when it comes to that type of player,
Dang, coach. I'm gonna have to switch up my answer now. Dang. Ah. Woo. Yeah, because I saw was going to be like, yeah, he's going to jump on the loaded roster over there in Miami and get on the boat, literally and figuratively, because he got in trouble for getting on the boat the last time.
Yup.
He okay, so now, and I'm just doing this just for entertainment purposes, y'all. This is not to be taken seriously.
Of course,
I think that he tries to remarket himself and comes down here to Dallas. I think he's going to do like a rebranding.
I see that.
And try to be a Dallas Cowboy. He's going to be all in like T.O. once was until Jerry didn't want to get rid of him. But yeah.
But what y'all thought
about? He's going to wind up signing with the Cowboys. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be either.
But speaking of the Cowboys, what y'all think about the whole Zeke Elliott situation?
Oh,
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Tony Pollard is that dude, but I've this one Cowboy fan made a good point though. Even though I said Tony Pollard is a better back, he said, yeah, but Zeke Elliott is a better blocker, as far as in when protecting the quarterback. Tony Pollard is not that is not there yet. He breaks off big runs, but unless they're gonna go out and get somebody that know how to protect the quarterback, when they drop back the pass, and they're gonna bring him in only in passing down. I mean passing, but running down. So we'll see. I mean, but Zeke, you could tell Zeke was he wasn't running like he used to. So,
well, you got to realize, he got a lot of tread on his tires, even though he's a younger guy.
Mm-hmm.
Those hits over a while, they accumulate, and a lot of times when a running back gets a big contract, it's more so for what he's done as opposed to what he could do in the future. And you brought up a valid point in terms of like the value of running backs being down. It's not just the fact that you can find backs down a dozen, like you were saying, but you got to realize it's such a pass-happy league that the value of a bell cow feature back in the NFL is not what it once was. You don't have the Adrian Petersons and the Bo Jacksons and those type of guys, the Barry Sanders, the Emmitt Smith. You don't have those guys that are going to run the ball 20, 25 times a game like you used to have.
Mm-hmm.
It's more backed by committee now because it's such a pass-happy league. But the fact that Zeke got so much tread on his tires, you could find a good back, like you said, anyway, because, just looking at the Saints, when they had, somebody like Pierre Thomas, they got guys that they were getting in the 6th, 7th round of undrafted guys that really was just as productive as, other guys around the league. Even Alvin Kamara, he was drafted in the 3rd round. So, You can almost find a good back anywhere at this point.
Mhm.
Facts.
You can no longer ask a running back to like carry your team anymore. It like you said earlier, Jared. Um, it's not the late '90s or early 2000s no more. You can't really ask. It's very rare. Let me rephrase that. It's very rare that you can ask somebody to actually run the ball to literally carry your team to victory anymore.
Yeah, there's
With the way
no
that the league is set up, yeah,
exactly.
it's more pass happy, and unfortunately, running slows the game down, and people want to be entertained in this business, so they do want to see more passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, we these backs are used in lot in the passing game, and blocking schemes when the quarterback drop back to pass. So the Deuce McAllister is not out there anymore. Jerome Bettis, Jamal Lewis, Freeze Holmes, all those 60, 70, 80 attempts a carry. Those numbers are dying out
Yes,
because
sir.
it's a passing league now. But one last thing before I wrap it up, I know you brothers want to start your weekend off, and I appreciate you brothers for hopping on with me, man. Having fun, chopping it up. Appreciate it, man. As far as this NFL season, what is your expectation
For our
for your
teams, or
for your teams?
okay, okay.
I know it's a little early, but I mean, it won't hurt to ask.
No, no, I'll let somebody else go first. I'll just go last.
All right, I'm gonna start with my Saints. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss, but I think the fact that they have the best quarterback in the division at this point, uh, I'm thinking the Saints gonna win the NFC South. Uh, I think they may get through a round of the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna be a Super Bowl contender. And in addition to that, I'm looking for Kansas City to kind of, be in terms of the AFC. I think Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo gonna be like the top tier teams. In terms of the NFC, I know they're gonna have a little setback because, like my cousin said on our Bayou Sports Talk show, last Saturday at 2 p.m. Basically, when you're a Super Bowl team, especially a team that loses the Super Bowl, it's gonna be hard to bring back all those guys the next year. But I'm still thinking with Jalen Hurts, still kind of being on his rookie deal, getting ready to transition over to being a franchise quarterback. I still think the Eagles gonna kind of be a top team in a NFC. But outside of the Eagles, I think the entire NFC is kind of up for grabs. Aaron Rodgers is no longer be with the Packers, so it's kind of hit or miss on the NFC side, but the AFC kind of solid. But I'm looking for another solid season in 2023, 2024.
Okay, brother Brent.
All righty. Now as far as my Steelers go, I think that, and I'm being optimistic here, I think that we actually trend upward. Um, I'm thinking that we pick up a cornerback in the first round. I think we actually wind up picking up maybe a decent left tackle in the second or the 32nd pick. And we try to build maybe on getting a nickel corner and maybe a linebacker in the later rounds to just try to add depth. That being said, I think that we'll be a solid team. My projected ceiling for our team is probably going to be, I'll go 11-6 at best. 11-6 at best. And then we'll probably be second in the North. We'll probably wind up splitting with y'all. we'll probably wind up splitting with Cincinnati. I think we still sweep Cleveland. And then, we win a few other critical games on the schedule. I think that we actually get into the playoffs. Okay. I think we actually surprise a favored team, win that game, go to the divisional round, and get kicked out. But I think that it's progress.
And you know what? I want to say
we haven't won a playoff game in a while.
I want to say so bad, because I despise City that you dreaming, but y'all the time Mike Tomlin can do it. So I'm not even gonna say I know better. That can happen with those pesky Steelers. Brother JB.
Well, I'm gonna make it short. If we don't sign Lamar Jackson, throw the whole season away.
I second that.
Boy.
You were actually being nice. I see what you were doing. But I appreciate that, Brother Brent. But if we don't sign Lamar Jackson, we ain't splitting nothing with y'all. Y'all taking it.
Yeah, I assume positive intent, brother. That's why I was saying optimistic.
I appreciate it. That's why I said I knew what you were doing. I appreciate that.
But it's gonna be y'all in Cincinnati.
That's it.
And we fighting at the bottom with the Browns.
Well, hopefully y'all beat them at least once. Shit.
Shoot, and if we don't sign Lamar Jackson, we most likely not gonna beat them. Because Deshaun Watson, the AFC North might be, depending on what we do with Lamar on 8, what we do with 8, it might be a tough division next year. But like I said, they playing with fire. I said this in the chat. We're gonna mess around and be the Orlando Magic of the NFL. They didn't want to sign Shaq. I'm saying, it's just
that's facts.
Boy,
that's facts.
JB, you hilarious, man. I love just hearing you talk, brother. The Orlando Magic of the league. God.
And they wasn't relevant till they got Dwight.
That's true.
Boy.
That's true. We're gonna be playing with our grandkids next time. The Baltimore Ravens have a good quarterback if we don't keep Lamar, man. But man, it was a fun show, man. I just want to do it for fun, man. Appreciate you brothers, man, for hopping on with me. I know it was late, but I just wanted to get a show in, just chop it up, give my perspective on what's going on in the football world. Appreciate everybody that came up. Didn't have a lot of people come in, but it's okay, man. We had fun with this. Appreciate you, brother D Weezy. Thank you for coming. Brent Fox, where can people see you, meet you, I should say?
Y'all can meet me live in person because I don't have no internet stuff set up, man. I don't have any pages or anything like that set up. I come on this show on the strength of just being here with my brothers. Now, what I will say is that there may be some things coming in the works as far as me getting out there. But as of right now, I'm just a regular dude, just getting on the show with his brothers and love chopping it up with them.
Well, I'm gonna speaking into existence, man. Y'all get y'all hear how well spoken this brother is. So in the future, y'all see content, check him out. JB, what's going on?
Not a daggone thing, but just getting some rest this weekend and going back to work Friday. That's what's happening. But y'all subscribe to my brother Jared 11 Green, and Coach 67, and all the brothers in the LDBC. Y'all quit BSing and support one another. And I'll just be in the background, like Al Heyman as usual.
Boy.
The great Coast 67 Sports TV. Tell them what you cooking up, how they can watch it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on my channel, Coast 67 Sports TV, we're gonna have episode 2, Bayou Sports Talk. With my family, my blood family, and hopefully I get my LDBC family. Some of y'all to come over and support 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're gonna be talking about the NFL Combine. We're gonna be talking about the Pelicans. The Saints. Some Bayou talk. Also, I got another video coming because to continue my top 5 series, because I just dropped a video talking about my top 5 favorite sports teams. This upcoming video gonna be my top 5 favorite fighters. Because right before we got on, I was watching Black Fight Fan. Shout out to Black Fight Fan, 78cc, and just the whole LDBC family. But basically, Black was talking about how he really didn't just do it for the love. Just didn't do it just for the love of money, but more so something he was passionate about. And that's why I like, being with my brother, Jared 11 Green, Brent Fox, JB, the whole LDBC family, because these topics that we talking about is something I'm passionate about, so I'll do it for free, forget the money, you know what I'm saying? And
Amen.
like you said, eventually the money gonna come, so, but, we just had a blast, on this little Friday night chop session, but check me tomorrow on Bayou Sports Talk, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. On my channel, Coach 67 Sports TV, Coach 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all social media platforms. And shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC.
Shout out to the mighty LDBC.
Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Catch y'all tomorrow. Bayou Sports Talk on my channel.
All right, and real quick, Jared, before y'all close. Speaking of being compassionate and about what you do and the Pelicans. This is for Coach 67. Somebody need to get Zion Williamson compassionate about basketball and stop eating.
Well, I mean, I
close the show, please. Close the show.
We talked about this on our first episode last week. I think his body fat percentage is actually down. I mean, it's not the fact that he's fat, but he's 6'6", 285. I think for him to be healthy on a consistent basis, he's going to need to get that weight down. I don't care how muscular you are, but at 6'6", 285, you're going to always be injury prone. So I think he needs to get the weight down to 250, 255, and that way he won't have all those injuries because he's explosive, he's athletic, even though he's muscular and he's bulky, but he needs to get the weight down, If he get the weight down, I think the injuries will ease up, hopefully. But at this point, he's just injury prone, And
and Zion Williams defense, man, that food in New Orleans good. Okay, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him. It's definitely good, but like JB said, he's gonna need to get the weight down. And at this point, it just seemed like the Pelicans are snake bitten with the injuries, just like the Saints was this year. With Brandon Ingram and Zion. I think with those two being out, I don't think they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, because his foot is up under somebody's table. Them Carolina boys like to eat. So.
And D Weezy ain't making it no better. So Zion said, "I can't dribble the ball, but I can dribble these donuts." See y'all.
Hey man, that's offensive, man. It's beignets, okay? You don't do that. You don't do that.
Beignets in New Orleans, baby. Beignets in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's beignets in New Orleans. You don't do that with the powdered sugar.
Wrong with you people. Donuts in New Orleans are pretty good too. So if you go to Texas, you can get some pretty good donuts too. Now, the New Orleans got beignets, but they got donuts too now.
I'm hungry already. See.
Y'all crazy, but shout out to everybody in LDBC. Love all y'all. Shout out to Sip the Tally, Hendo, Lunch Break, Hot Take. Love you, brother D Weezy. All y'all brothers, love y'all, man. Y'all be blessed. Stay safe. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night.
Peace and blessings, family.
Y'all be blessed.
Yeah, blessings to y'all too, man. Thank y'all for having me on.
Anytime, man.